Hey everybody, it's me again, Mr. Cinema Junkie, and part 3 of It Came from Redbox. I just finished watching Leatherface. Um, I gotta tell you, when they first announced that this was being released, I was very excited. I was like, yes, another Leatherface movie. Then I started having my reservations about it, like, what are they gonna do with it? You know, when Texas Chainsaw came out, and it was just called Texas Chainsaw, if you guys remember, I thought it was kind of a little offering for the fans, because in the very beginning of the movie you had a collection of people who starred in different parts of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series. You had it was Jim Dugan who played Grandpa. He was there. He played Grandpa again, and then you had Gunnar Hansen, and everybody was there. You know, it was like a little gathering of sorts of the uh, the Leatherfaces, and you also had Chop Top, but he wasn't playing that role. They were all just, you know, in the room fighting against the cops. So I was kind of like, okay, what is this one going to bring to the table? Now, it is a prequel, and yes, I know they've done a prequel already, but I had to remember that that was a prequel to a remake. Okay, the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, which I did like, by the way, spawned a prequel to show where everything started. Had a lot of the same actors in it and such. And I dug the prequel, but this is a prequel more along the lines of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You see a lot of the characters from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre as young kids, shot around 1955 or so. So I thought that was great. The thing is, was when they got all the kids get taken away and put into like a hospital of sorts, a psych ward, and that's where I got a little confused, because the person who I thought was going to grow up to be Leatherface, it wasn't him at all. Then I thought, who is this guy anyway? I mean, if you look at it, you'll see he's big, he's bulky, he's got kind of, you know, the hair for it. I figured he was going to grow up and be Leatherface, but it's not him. It wound up being this other cat that was with them. For me, it got a little bit confusing. I don't know where along the lines I kind of lost my way with it. But overall, I dug it. I really did. I liked it probably more than I thought I was going to like it. I'm sure there's a long list of people who have nothing but bad things to say about it, and they probably have very legitimate reasons for saying what they're saying. But for me personally, quite enjoyable, very enjoyable. Although, I don't see where it's going to go from here. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I mean, you're basically going to you're going to step into like maybe 3 or 4 years prior to the original happenings of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, unless they make a page-by-page remake of the original, which that nobody needs that. This was fresh. This was cool. I dug it. Yeah, it was quite interesting. I mean, you get to see Grandpa when he's still kind of thriving and stuff, and you see a young Nubbins, you know, the hitchhiker, and everybody's youngsters. It's like watching the Muppet Babies, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, I just enjoyed it immensely. I really did. It did have some kind of like familiar feel to it. Kind of reminded me, in some aspects, it kind of reminded me of like House of a Thousand Corpses / Devil's Rejects. That kind of a feel. But I'm guessing the storyline, the script, and everything had got a great big nod, because one of the executive producers is Toby Hooper. So, you know, usually when I see somebody get on board with a reboot or a prequel or something like that, and they were responsible for the original, it's kind of like giving their blessing in a way. And I felt good about that. I felt good going into it. Like I said, I don't know where I got confused on the characters, but you pretty much get to see the evolution of who we get to know as later as Leatherface. So it's aptly named. And plus, like I said, I don't know where they're going to go from here. I don't see where they can go from here. But at the end of the movie, and I'm not really giving anything away, there's a song playing, and it says "It's Over." The song is called "It's Over," and it's like a ballad, a girl singing about losing a lost love. But when I was listening to that, I was kind of thinking, is that kind of a message to us, telling us that's it, we're done now, we've said all we can say, and that is it. Your remake spawned a prequel, so now the original has a prequel to go with that, and we're done, because after this it will just get embarrassing. So I thought maybe that was like a hidden message to all of us. But yeah, I liked it a lot. Personally, it's one that I would own. I'd like to get it in a nice steelbook. I love steelbooks. Y'all know that. So yeah, I'm gonna go on a limb, go out on a limb here and really push it. I'm really gonna push it for storyline, for gore, which was decent. There was also some elements of like necromantic in there. Yeah. But just for overall offering of sorts, I'm gonna give it a 9. Gonna give it a 9. If you haven't seen it, give it a watch. If you're a fan of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series, there were some stinkers, yes, Next Generation, but even now I can watch that and just enjoy it for what it is. Pretty much like I watched Jason X. A lot of people hate Jason X. Jason in Space, 400 years in the future. I love it just because of the sheer audacity and ridiculousness of it. Kane Hodder still brings, what we love to the table, and if you can put up with holodecks and spaceships, it's a fun watch. It really is. I watch it for what it's worth, and so that's where I'm at with like Next Generation. When I first saw it, I was like, oh my god, this is terrible. Now it's just like, pop some popcorn, make some pizza rolls, and then we're gonna put on Next Generation. Matthew McConaughey, man, Renee Zellweger. So, but if you're a fan of the series at all, this is definitely one you probably want to check out. And you may not enjoy it as much as I did, but I'm almost sure enough to guarantee you will enjoy it in some way, shape, or form. So I'll be back. I've got 2 more titles to go on this little limited series, and we'll see where we go from there, guys. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you. And I'll be back soon.